So we have a very special speaker today. I'm so excited to hear her story because I haven't heard it in its full glory. I've heard bits and pieces, and I have a feeling that it is incredible. So I'm going to read a little introduction that actually her upline diamond, Diane Del Reyes, wrote for her. Claudine Annis is a passionate wellness advocate who's been using and sharing doTERRA for more than 8 years now. Not only has she had a personal breakthrough with her health, she now supports a large Texas-based team. Claudine leads from a place of empathy, connection, and relationship, always putting others' needs first. She is always there to lend a hand and to be a support to those around her. She exemplifies the meaning of team player. So let's all give a bunch of love to Claudine, Gold Visionary Leader, as she shares her story of Deep Blue to the rescue.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for that wonderful introduction and reading what Diane wrote. I thought that was very touching. It was really nice to get that from her when I reached out and asked her, what do I say about myself? But most of all, thank you for the opportunity to share my story today. My goal today is to hopefully bring some hope to people that are dealing with pain, or if you've got family members or other loved ones that are dealing with pain. Through my journey, I'm hoping to share with you today about how there is an opportunity for hope and light at the end of the tunnel. I could really share with you so much and so many amazing things that have happened to me since starting with doTERRA, but I'll try to keep the focus today on my journey regarding pain. Before I was started with doTERRA, I was on close to 20 different pharmaceutical medications to address everything from depression, anxiety, stomach issues, chronic neck and back pain, frequent migraines, and more. If you've ever been in that cycle of being on prescription medications, you know that when you have one, you have side effects, and they give you others, and it just snowballs into having a lot of medications on your plate. I was on the max doses of hydrocodone and muscle relaxers for 5 years. My body became so addicted to the narcotics that literally within an hour of taking them, I'm checking my watch to see when I can take my next dose because they just weren't working for me. They weren't working very long. I had tried chiropractic, orthopedic massage, injections, rhizotomies, where they go in and snip or burn the nerve endings, TENS units, physical therapy, over-the-counter analgesics, like BioFreeze and things like that. You pretty much named it. I probably tried it. None of it was really working for me. None of it was the answer by itself. A friend told me years later that my husband actually shared with her that he was really worried about me, and he was worried that he or my girls were going to come home and find me dead in bed from overdose of medications. Sorry. Obviously my family has my heart, so when I talk about them, I get a little emotional. He was really, really concerned about it. Being on that many medications, there's such a great risk of cross interactions and accidental overdoses and things like that. I really wasn't suicidal, but I wasn't living either. I've always been a person that's been able to pull myself up by the bootstraps and move forward. I've always been the person that somebody comes to for help and always willing to help other people. I was so frustrated that I couldn't do this on my own and get myself out of bed and move forward. My family didn't really understand it either. I finally decided to reach out and get some help. I was instructed by a doctor to be admitted inpatient to detox off of the pain medications. I had been on them for so long. They were really concerned about me coming off of them safely. So they wanted me to do inpatient to detox off of them. That's a whole nother experience and another story. Just let's say that definitely taught me some things. Of course, they got me off the narcotics, but they put you on other medications when they take you off the narcotics. And quite frankly, none of the medications were working no matter what they gave me. It was interesting when I was in the inpatient, you're required to go through therapy and things like that. Um, and one of the doctors told me that if I would have continued on the same path I was on with all the medications and stuff, that I would not have made it to my 46th birthday. Well, in about a week and a half, I hit my 52nd birthday. So that's something to celebrate. Little did I know that doing those hard things and making those hard decisions about getting help was really going to open a window of opportunity for me. At the time, my orthopedic massage therapist um, that I was seeing almost weekly was recently introduced to the doTERRA products, actually by Diane Del Reyes, my upline. She was traveling for work. She teaches orthopedic and medical massage around the country, and she was having some pain and some energy issues. So she was encouraged to talk to somebody, and Diane helped her. And she was really surprised that she always thought that essential oils were just smell good things and didn't have therapeutic benefits to it. So she decided to give it a try, and she got a kit, to be honest, probably because of me, because she was thinking about me when she bought her kit. When she got back home, she asked if I would be her guinea pig. And of course, I tried just about everything else. So I said yes. So she used some deep blue oil on me. And if you've ever been in a lot of constant pain, you know what I'm describing when I say that when you get that relief, you feel like you can finally take a breath. Well, that's what I had when I was getting off the table. And I was like, what in the world was that you used on me? And she told me a little bit about it. She was still new, didn't know a lot. So we were both kind of in the same boat. And I won't lie, I began to get a little skeptical and think, did I just psych myself out? And because I'm so desperate for something to work, that it worked for me. Well, she gave me a little sample vial of the deep blue to take home and keep using it. And lo and behold, it actually kept working for me. I then ventured into getting my own kit. And with a little guidance from Diane, really kind of created a protocol to begin addressing the pain. The other thing is I really learned to listen to my own body and to, kind of use my own instincts. We know what we need. I mean, I would sometimes just go open a bottle and smell it. Yep, this smells good. We're going to try this today and see if it works. I also had the little A to Z guide. So very simply just began using the oils every day. And what I found in using them for my physical pain was that I was also dealing with a lot of emotional pain as well. I had been going through a very deep depression where I wasn't getting out of bed for weeks at a time. I mean, I wasn't showering, I wasn't brushing my teeth, I wasn't eating meals with my family or cooking meals. I, again, really wasn't living life to the fullest. I was kind of that person in that commercial, that puts on that fake face when they go out. You've all seen that commercial, right? That was totally me when I did go out. But most of the time I was really, I spent laying in bed. It really definitely created a challenge in my relationships in my life as well. And I don't want to go dive into that, but just know that when you're in something with that chronic pain or those chronic conditions, that it affects not only you, but everybody around you as well. And as I said, my family's got my heart. So I care about all of them, and what I do impacts them as well. So what I found through the journey is when you don't deal with your emotional struggles and your emotional issues, maybe you're a stuffer, you like to stuff your emotions, that they can come back and manifest themselves into physical problems. So not only were the oils actually helping me with my physical issues, my physical pain, but they were also simultaneously helping me with my emotional pain as well. If you're not familiar with Deep Blue and what it can do for you emotionally, it really assists people that are resisting or avoiding those emotions that underlie their physical pain. It offers really that strength to face those emotional wounds, allowing those wounds to surface so you have an opportunity to deal with them and let them go. If you are avoiding or feeling panicked, fearful, or wounded, or looking for strength, acceptance, comfort, healing, any of those things, Deep Blue is actually a wonderful place to start. And a lot of people don't think about Deep Blue for the emotional benefits. They really think about them only for when I'm having physical pain in a specific area. I used a lot of Deep Blue in the beginning at a pretty frequent basis all throughout the day. But then I was really encouraged to try the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I noticed that taking a half a dose made quite an impact on me without even really realizing it. About 2 weeks into taking that half a dose, all of a sudden I realized that I was up during the day. I was showering, brushing my teeth, and those all seem like such simple things unless you're really dealing with the things I was dealing with. And those were big moves for me, and I capitalized on them and celebrated those. But I also began preparing meals for my family and spending time with my family in the evenings. And I found that I wasn't hurting so much, and wasn't using as much of my Deep Blue. I was really hesitant to try the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I had done supplements before and I had okay experience, but they upset my stomach and things like that. But because doTERRA offers a 30-day money back guarantee and people that I trusted and respected were really encouraging me to try it, I again didn't have anything to lose, so I gave them a try. I will say the other product that Dr. Josie actually encouraged me to try was Terrazyme between meals to help with the inflammation in my body. I was dealing with that chronic neck and back pain, but I was also dealing with fibromyalgia as well. So a lot of inflammation going on in my body. And if you've ever heard Dr. Josie or some of the others say is Terrazyme kind of acts like a Pac-Man when you take it between meals and helps eat up that inflammation or those free radicals. This was before Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex came out. So it was a long time ago. I think it was 2013, Josie, when you told me that little trick. So I was doing a lot of Terrazyme between meals as well. Some other things that I did is I did our cleanse a couple of times. So the first time I did it, obviously my body was very toxic. So I was super light on doing that cleanse. And then about 6 months later or so, I did a regular cleanse as well. And it was amazing on how it helped with my pain, but also helped me emotionally as well, kind of detox a lot of that stuff that my body had been really trying to work through and push out of my system. When I'm having a lot of pain or having a flare up, I kind of play with layering different oils. So maybe I start with Deep Blue and then do some Deep Blue rub over the top of it, which really helps it to penetrate deeper and last a little bit longer. Some other oils that I like to play with layering is past tense. If you think about muscles that might be spasming, past tense is really great because it's got lavender in it. So it helps kind of relax those muscles as well. Wintergreen, marjoram, aroma touch, obviously, frankincense, then cobaiba. Now I use both frankincense and cobaiba, but back when I started, cobaiba wasn't in the picture. So playing around with layering some of those, not necessarily all of them at once. I won't lie, there have been times I have layered all of those at once, but I would recommend if you're not a really experienced oil user is just try a couple of those at a time and layer them. Some other things that I do on a regular basis is every week, I have either the inflammatory or the Chi Symphony of the Cells protocol done on a regular basis as well. And I still see the chiropractor, acupuncturist, and orthopedic massage therapist. But thanks to my family and doTERRA and our wonderfully supportive community here with Visionary Leaders and Essential Wellness, I'm no longer on 20 different pharmaceutical medications. I am on 3. I have 2 that are bioidentical hormones due to my hysterectomy in my 30s. I tried to do no hormones and I was having some other issues, so I did have to go on a low dose of those. In fact, speaking of 2013, Josie, 2013 is when I attended my first convention, and I got this sweet text from my husband that texted me my first day there, reminding me where I was a year to the day before that. I was in the hospital detoxing off of all of those narcotics. So he just reminded me about how far I had come in my journey over that year. It was really wonderful to go to that, not only to invest in myself through education, also it was a testament that I could get out there and live again, which I had not been doing before that, and also really connect in person to this wonderful community that had been so supportive of me over the last year. doTERRA also gifted me the ability to really have a flexible schedule. This really allows me to better balance my health needs and still fulfill my passion of helping others. I have days that are better than others, and being able to do doTERRA as a business not only helps me do what is in my zone of genius of helping others, but it also allows me to adjust my schedule as needed so that I can find that balance on those days that I might be having a rougher day. I can, move things around. Or if I'm really challenging myself and pushing myself to do more, I may schedule in a few days of recovery afterwards. And this business has really allowed me to be able to do that. If you're looking for building an easy way to build your wellness routine, I really like the Relief Wellness Program that doTERRA has come out with. Not only is it giving you great savings below wholesale, but it's also allowing you to create that wellness routine in little bite-sized pieces as well every month. So if you're not familiar with the Relief Wellness Program, I encourage you to either get with the person that helped you get started, or also check out the website. Typically, one of the other things that I get asked is what are my base products that I use from more of a preventative standpoint. Obviously, it's the Lifelong Vitality Pack, Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, Terrazyme, PB Assist. And by the way, if you're not familiar, you can get the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, Terrazyme, and PB Assist discounted when you buy it with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which obviously helps me save money. I also do Cobieva. Adaptive capsules have been life-changing for me, and the turmeric duo caps. And then I kind of alternate different oils that are on my order as well. So I really hope that sharing my journey with you today really helps somebody realize that there is hope for themselves or their loved ones that are struggling with pain, or maybe on a lot of different medications. I really want to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak today and listening to me. So thank you.
Claudine, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know how intimate and sometimes vulnerable that is, and we just really appreciate it because there are people on this call right now that I'm sure are in a situation similar to where you were, and hopefully they have a little bit of hope now. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claudine. I just want to say such a powerful testimonial. And I can talk about things as a doctor, but to hear it from someone who's experienced it and gone through it and lives it is, to me, the gold standard. So thank you.
Thank you.
A few really good tips in there I'd love to highlight for everyone. If you are suffering from a dysregulation in your inflammatory response, to take Terrazyme between meals. So we often say take Terrazyme with your food to help you digest it, but Dr. Josie and Claudine are pointing out that you can take it between your meals. So when you wake up in the morning, between breakfast and lunch, between lunch and dinner, before you go to bed. And Dr. Vivian has told me before too that you don't really have to worry about taking too much Terrazyme. Like if you're taking 6 a day and it's helping, that is okay, right, Dr. Josie?
Yeah, I think it was someone asked in the panel, like, how much should we take? And one of the things we say with a daily wellness is to think about taking Terrazyme 5 times a day, right? So right when I have a bottle of it with my Zendicrine complex right there on my bathroom sink wall, and I just take one of each of those when I first wake up in the morning and before I go to bed. And then you have your 3 meals. That would be 1 pill 5 times a day. But gosh, when I have other things going on and I want to support my inflammation more, I would take 2 or even 3 Terrazyme in the morning or before bed or in between meals. So you could really take that up and tailor that according to what's going on. And the same thing is true as with meals. If you want more support for digestion, then you could take up, 3 Terrazyme with a bigger meal.
That's great. And then the other thing I want to highlight that Claudine alluded to was this could get expensive, right? A big protocol like this could get expensive, and doTERRA has taken that into account. So when you order the Lifelong Vitality Pack, there is a way to add your deep blue polyphenols, your extra Terrazyme for cheaper. You can get them for like $20 each, which is deeply discounted. Then when you do one of the health kits, like the Relief program, so the Relief program is a 3-month program with a curated box. It's $70 a month. It gives you items to help with this pain and inflammation journey. But then there's other products like the Copaiba, more deep blue, that you can add on for deeper discounts.